Listeners. My name is Cooper Lytle,
And my name is Janessa Greifenkamp.
and today we are going to be comparing and analyzing different researchers and discussing what I found during my research on one question. Does tech have a bad effect on the way we learn?
Well, Cooper, before we get into the evidence or conclusion you came to, what made you ask yourself this question?
I struggled a lot as a kid with attention due to my ADHD, but as I've gotten older, I feel it has gotten worse. I notice as my consumption of technology has gone up, my attention span has gone down. And I wanted to see if I and figure out if my assumption might have evidence backing it up.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know that you had ADHD. I do too. Well, Cooper, what did you find?
Okay, so to get a good base layer of knowledge on the subject, I decided to watch a TEDx on the subject. I watched Technology, the Best or Worst Thing for Education by Scott Wildman. In this TEDx, the thing that grabbed my attention most was the term digital natives. When I first heard the term, I was picturing cyborgs and robot people that live in a futuristic future, but that is not the case at all. Digital native refers to the fact that children today in this society have not lived in a world without tech or social media. They do not know what boredom is like. They do not know what it is like to not have a tech-centric life where everything they do involves computer technology in some way, shape, or form. And it is not just computers. According to DiMartino and Schutz, 2020, students in New York ranging ages 12 to 15 all had some form of screen device, and 97% all had a cell phone as well, comparing to the national average of 75 in 2010. And on these cell phones, these kids are social media obsessed. That's how today's youth socializes. And if you don't have a cell phone or social media, you're the odd one out. Janessa, how old were you when you first got social media?
I was 11 years old when I got Snapchat, and then I got Instagram when I was 12 years old.
Me too, but I was 12 and 13 instead. Now, I know myself and many others were, but would you say that you felt pressured into having social media, and that if you didn't have social media, you would be missing out on something?
Actually, yeah, I did. But where are you going with all of this?
These children that are digital natives view tech and social media as less of an object they possess and more of an environment that they inhabit. It has become their prime mode of socialization. After I concluded why so many children have phones and why they are so immersed in them, I decided to do a search on what kind of an effect too much phone time has on our growing brain. I then found an article by the Harvard Medical School by the title of Screen Time and the Brain. I found that overuse of screens has been linked with the disruptions in sleep, particularly through the exposure to blue light, which interferes with melatonin production, which is the chemical your brain secretes to make you feel tired. This delays the individual going to sleep. Too much screen time can also hinder creativity by reducing opportunities for things such as imaginative play, problem solving, and the exploration of new ideas, especially in children. The child receives dopamine from a screen, robbing the child of real-world experience. This constant use of digital devices stunts social development and emotional regulation. Face-to-face interactions and downtime are replaced by screens, and children are given more of a simulation of a social experience instead of the real thing where they really learn and gain something. With constant exposure to information from digital devices, the brain struggles to process and retain new information. This may lead to difficulties in concentration, reduced problem-solving abilities, and a decline overall in productivity.
Whoa, I had no idea that cell phones had so much of an effect on the way we process things. I'm gonna start putting my phone up an hour before bed.
That is a great idea.
Well, Cooper, what conclusion did you come to after all of this research?
I came to the conclusion that it is not a matter of technology being wrong or right, but it is our responsibility towards technology that must be honed. If we moderate how much children use tech and what they use it for, we don't have to run the risk of them being on a screen too much to enjoy life for what it really is. Even though children today have never lived in a society without excessive tech, they don't have to live a life controlled by excessive tech. Things such as moderated screen time can help prevent the loss of imaginative play, problem solving, and the exploration of new ideas.